Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is John, and I'm a filmmaker slash creator and your host for Make Lemonade podcast, where we talk about how to change our circumstances when life happens. In other words, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Today, we'll be talking about developing your career, which will help you discover a new way to pursue your dreams. All right, so today we're talking about developing your career. This is something that I have been wanting to talk about for the longest time and really come forward with it because it's been something of mine that has been a passion. It's been something that I wanted to share through my own experience because I have gone through a place of self discovery, not only self discovery, but self career discovery. And it's been a challenge, and there have been things that I would have wanted to know before I even pursued anything in my career. And so there are mistakes that I have made, money that I have spent that is just overwhelming. But the fact is that now my direction is clear, my area of focus is narrower, and I am focused on what I want to do. And so I want you to avoid these areas of, spending money in the wrong place for just, your choice of career, trying out things that perhaps you don't know if you actually want to do it. And so I want to share with you tools that I have learned now through a process of time that have developed my career to where I want to be as a filmmaker. And so in doing this, I'm going to give you about six things that I have done in my life personally that have helped me to really make a blueprint of I guess, a path to my own career. And so, in this growing, in this development, I have also researched other people and their development. I've also read books about people and their development. I've also read about leaders who have, done great things in their development. And so this is to understand what it means to really go after your passion and your dreams. What is it that you are meant to do on this earth? What is your purpose? I'm pretty sure you've heard it in so many ways. And, like me, you've just heard go out there and do it, go and you do your own thing and really discover and discover things on your own without realizing that you're wasting time, that you're wasting, money, and all of it's going to end up in a bad way, you owing things, and it's not worth it until you know exactly what you want. And this is where I want to take you today. I want to give you a roadmap to the discovery of your passion, your dreams, and how to get there. And so I hope that today will really, really give you a new discovery, a new way that you can pursue your dream at the moment. Now, this is for you if you are even in elementary, middle school, high school, if you're in college, if you're already in the working area, if you are, 20 years of experience, but you are not satisfied with your career, you're not satisfied with your job, and you just have something inside that is calling you to do what you want to do, but you're afraid to take that extra step. This is for you and how to develop that dream. And so let's start off with what I like to call the how to build your foundation, and that is tools. Before you start anything, there has to be a beginning before the start, and that's what I like to call it, the beginning before the start. And this is before you even start building your foundation. Because when I want you to imagine this career path of yours, I want you to imagine as you're building a house. And so every house has to start with a great foundation. But before you start with that foundation, you need to have a blueprint of where you're going, how it's going to be built, and everything that goes in it. So, however you want your development of career to be built, this is where you start, the beginning before the start. So let's start off with your tools. your tools are super important because those are going to be the things that are going to build your career. They're the things that are going to build your foundation. So how do we go about this? Well, we start off with research. Research is the number one thing that I recommend for you to do in any circumstances, no matter what you're starting. Research is important. Research will give you the opportunity to really get more in depth and narrow your focus on what you want to do. But what do we do? Where do we go? Where do we find these tools in our research? Well, one of the places that I go in my research to find is books. Books is something that you will find people's history, you will find people's development, you will find people's experiences, people's careers, you will find a bunch of stuff through, the biography, through just, people writing about a career, people writing about their experience in a career, and this can be anything that you want to be, whether you want to be a cook, whether you want to be a scientist, whether you want to be a lawyer, whether you want to be an artist. I mean, you go and you find books that people have talked about, that people have built upon, that will give you the information that you need to further yourself in that career. And so research is something important. Now that's just one tool. There are multiple tools and areas that you can go to really find more. So another place that you can go to research that is really huge is the internet. The internet, you will have different programs that can teach you how to do things in the area that you want to do. And so the more you look into the research on how to do things on the internet, you're going to find a bunch of information, and the more you're going to know about it. So that's ultimately what you want to do. You want to know how people have done it so that you can gather all that information and put it in your own blueprint. And one of the greatest things that I've heard that really is kind of contradicting to what I believe, but I agree with it 100%, and that is that the best artists are those that steal. And that was something that for me was great. Now I believe in creativity. I believe in finding, your own, art or whatever, per se. But I agree with this one, quote that I heard, because no matter what, ideas come from other inspirations, and people who inspire you, people who motivate you, and you get, those inspiration and motivation, and you bring it to your table and you make it your own. And that's the beautiful thing about being a great artist, per se. And so that is all about research. That is, you find information. That's what it's all about. You find information to build what you're going to do. Second thing that is a tool that you can use in developing your career is other people's experiences. And you can find this in books. You can find this in actually going to places that are working in your career, and take notes on what they're talking about. Ask them all the questions that you can as possible, and this is for you to have a broader look on what you want to do. And this is very important because you're going to find in the good, you're going to find in the bad, you're going to find all those things in asking people. This is something that is very helpful in the development of your career. What career do you want to go into? Do you want to become a doctor? Then probably need to go to doctors and maybe interview them. Maybe, make it something that you have as a project for school and go in there and interview them. You're writing an essay, write something, write it down, put it in a place that you can see it, that you can read it, that you can find it, and you can know this information. Others, people experiences. And lastly, with tools that are going to help you build your foundation, is going to be the location. Location, where it's been built, where was it built, where is it more popular in, and where can you find it, and where do you want to be in all of that. That is something that is very important in location, because let's say you want to do like some sort of thing that's done like 2 states away from you, and you are at a state where none of it is done. Now you have the opportunity to bring it to that state, or you have the opportunity to take yourself to the states that it's been built in and grow in those areas, and then perhaps bring it back to your state that you want to be in and then build it there. So it all depends on what you want to do, but this is something that is important when it comes to your career development, and really knowing what you want to do within your dream and your passion. So, now that we've gone over the tools, I want to go into the knowledge of the subject. So, really, the knowledge of what you want to do. What is it? You want to be a cook? Okay, well, what is it that you need to know about cooking? And one of the things that I encourage you to do when it comes into knowing something is ask questions. And I'm going to give this as an example. When you go on dates, especially I encourage girls to do this. When you're going dates and you're talking to a guy, one of the things that I encourage you to do is ask questions. Because one of the things that we don't do when we're out on a date is, we don't ask the questions that need to be asked. We usually just show our best self, and that is something that we look at and we're like, well, I'm just gonna show my good side, just gonna get dressed and go on this date, and hopefully this person is great, and they end up being great in the date because we see their best side, but then we get to know them a little bit, and then we're like, oh, I should have asked those questions, and now I'm suffering because of it. But my point is, ask the questions to know, because you need to know. The word know comes from knowledge, and so you need to ask the questions in order to know and have that knowledge. Secondly is, once you ask those questions, find the answer. One of the things from a master class that I've been taking that I have learned is that if somebody doesn't want to give you an answer, then you're going to be they're trying to take advantage of you. And so if somebody doesn't answer the question that you want to give, that you're asking and you want to find, then they're going to take advantage of you. And so one of the things that you want to do is find the answers to what you're asking. If somebody doesn't want to answer those questions, then you probably don't need to be there. Go somewhere else and find that answer. Until you find it, keep looking. And so find that answer is super important. And so how do you map out the questions that you would want to ask, and how do you go about it? Well, you can go about it through this way. If you're gonna ask questions, ask the questions that have the what, the who, the how, and the when. The what is this career about? What is this business about? What are you about when you go and asking those questions? Because you want to find out, what the business is about, what the person is about, what, all those things, because it's very important to know. Because if you're going to develop yourself in that career, whether it be as an entrepreneur, whether it be as a business owner, whether it be you working in that location, you want to know what is it about. You want to know also the who runs it. Who are the people who are developing this place, developing this business? Who are they? And you want to know how they do it. How are they running this place? How can they run this location, or how can they run this? Because so the how is super important, because it's going to get you a place of how things are done. And so once you get to the how, you want to go to the when. The when will allow you to know when they do certain things. When did this business start? When do y'all do this? And so in those questions, there's the what, there's the who, there's the how, there's the when in those locations, because they will help you in this development. And so they will help you in the development of knowing how everything goes within the career that you want to go into, because that's your dream, that's your passion. Those are things that I would loved to know, and know that I could ask this question, that I should have asked these questions, that I could go and ask other people about their experience in the area. So this is very, very important. And when it comes to developing your career, the third thing that I want you to realize is understanding your reason. And this is something that you need to know. You need to know, why are you doing it? What's the reason behind it? Why do you really want to do it? Were you inspired by a television show that maybe was showing like a CSI thing, or were you inspired by a book that you read? You want to write books now? Were you inspired by a radio show? You want to be a podcaster? I mean, what is it? What's your reason that you want to do what you want to do? Why do you want to follow after your dreams? Why do you want to follow after your passion? And why are you into your passion and your dreams? Why do you have those dreams? Very, very important, because they're going to help you in the development of your career. You also want to understand within your reason is, what's the process of your career? Understand what it takes to do those things that you want to do. What's the process of it? How do I go from the beginning to the end? What is in between? Understanding is going to help you know the material by heart. And that's what I always get into, the understanding. Because knowledge is about just recognizing that things are there and why they're there. But when you start understanding, you start actually, being able to go in there and understanding what it is. Not only that, but working with it, because you understand its process, you understand its value, you understand its purpose. And that's the beautiful thing about understanding. You understand why something is made and what it does and what's purpose, what is its purpose behind what it does. And so that's the understanding part, because you want to know those things. You need to know what you want out of it. That's something crucial. What do you want out of this process? What do you want of this career that you're choosing? What is it? Because it's very important for you to understand your reason and the reason why it's built. Because those two things are going to come into together and build a fusion that's going to be amazing. So once you understand, you can go into the practice. This is something that you can start doing from the beginning, or you can start doing after you understand. Practice is something that's going to help you just, get better at your craft. And it's going to be something that you go and you do hands-on. And there's no other better way than actually hands on something that you're doing. One of the things that a lot of companies have is you can go intern and do something that they do in their career, and you're in the area that you want to be in, and learn from it. You gain experience from the work. And what does that work give you? Well, that practice lets you learn the practical side of what you want to do and the mental side of what you want to do. And you start realizing that, if this dream is really what you want to do, is this really what, you're willing to do, spend every hour, spend everything that you can to really gain this that you want to do, to really go after your passion. And that's why hands-on is really important, to go and learn from what people are doing. One of the things that I did in filming, from learning, and not only through the books and people explaining, I wanted to know what was the process of it. I wanted to know what was the characteristics being a filmmaker. And one of the things that I got from every director that I was learning from is that tough skin is a must, especially if you're in the industry. Not only that, one of the things that I've understood by being in the field is that you have to know the business of whatever it is that you're doing. And whether you're doing cooking, or whether you're doing advertising, or you're doing doctor, you got to know the business of what you're going into. It's very, very important, because everything that you see going on in this world, business wise, runs through a business, runs through finance, runs through taxes. And so knowing the business side of it is very crucial. Very crucial. So those are the things that I've learned as a filmmaker, because it takes money to make a movie. First of all, not only does it take money, but it takes you talking to people, and not every person that you talk to is going to be nice about things, because they're trying to make money too, and they're trying to do what they want to do. And so the difference between trying to make money and going after your passion is that when you want to make money, you're going to do anything to come on top. But when you're trying to go on your passion, you're going to do everything that you can to let that part shine. And so there's a very difference. And so learning that part and knowing that you have to have some tough skin, especially me that I'm in filming, And I'm actually really a person that is, kind, and it's really respectful to people. And having a tough skin, it was tough on me, but it has to be a point where that tough skin has to develop, and you have to develop it in order to face where you're going to go into in this world. Because even though you're going in and showing kindness to people, and there are many people in different ways that kindness is something that irritates them, because they want things that are direct. And so, and I have to become direct with them and talk to them straight up, and not have anything or go around my words, so that they can understand. And they just literally want it straight up. What is that you want? Tell me, or not, get out of here. And so tough skin is something that I had to develop. And so that's one of the things that I mean in practice. You learn the practical side and the mental side. And so I love the practical side, the thing about working in film. I love it. But the mental side is the part that you can break down, and if you don't really take care of yourself, and that's something that is more powerful than actual practical side, in my opinion. Okay, now that we've gone to the practice side, I want you to think about the time. Time is something that I don't want you to be scared, in the sense of thinking, well, I'm this age, I only have this much time to really grow in my dream. But the time that I want you to really focus on is, how long is it going to take you for you to complete what you're doing? Because you have a beginning and you have an end. And remember, you have the beginning before the start, and the opportunity, and at the end you have opportunity. And those are the things that I want you to understand, because all of that is time, and that's what you want to know. It's when you're going to discover about knowing about business, when you're going to discover knowing about your career. Everything has time. For my career, for example, I went to school. It took me about 4 years to really get that out of the way. And so in that process, I didn't push towards my filming career. I just pushed to my education career. So I got educated in a degree, and that was way different than my filming career. And so I had spent money that I shouldn't have on a wrong career, that I could have gotten on the career that I wanted. So, this is why I'm saying that time is important, because you want to know exactly where you want to go. You don't want to waste time. You don't want to go and spend money that you're going to have to pay later, and you're going to be in a position that you don't want to be in the first place after you finish school, right? One of the things that a lot of people who go to college deal with is not having a job afterward. And so they find themselves working in areas, and I've seen this so many times, especially with teachers. I've seen this. Teachers go in, well, I used to be a teacher, and I would go to school. And the one thing that a lot of teachers would always ask is what's your degree? What did you graduate in? And when they would answer me back, when I would ask them that question, it would always be like, well, I never wanted to be a teacher, in a sense, right? But each and every one of them had a different degree in what they wanted to do. But they went to become a teacher because it was a safer area, and there was no job for them to actually go into after they finish their college degree. And so that's why I'm letting you know that you want to know how long it's going to take you for you to complete to what you want to do. Not only this is going to inspire you to really go ahead and attack it and go forward with it, but it's going to give you an overall view of what the length of something is going to take. So that's really important. Not only that, but it's also going to give you the time of growth. How long will it take for you to grow in that career? For example, let's take a 9 to 5 career. How long would it take you to grow to become like a leader in that area, in that career? How long would it take you to become a manager? How long would it take you to become a supervisor? If that's the place that you want to go into, right? So those are the things that you want to know, because you need to find out how long it's going to take, and then so that you can know, okay, this is a good process, and now I know how I need to be patient to getting there. So this is going to develop patience within you. Now, patience is not an easy thing, but you have it inside. You have the capacity, you have the moral, and you have the push to be patient. So know that you can be patient, and the process is going to require that. So be aware that that's what time does require. Now that we went into time, one of the most important things that is going to help you in developing your career is knowing who you are. This is important because it's going to define how you will run things in your path. And so, if you're willing to take a little bit of the dark side to get into your area, then that's the same way that you're going to develop yourself in your career. And so you want to know what are your values, what are your beliefs, what are your morals, because those ultimately are going to be the things that are going to be helping you run your career, your business, your entrepreneurship. I mean, that's what's going to run you as a person, because your business is not the person. Your business is the person that you develop. I know I contradicted myself there, but what I want you to understand and what I'm trying to say is that your business is a person that you are making. Every business that you go is going to have a way that they run things, a way that they treat people. Why? Because that's the way the person who's running it is treating their employees, and their employees are treating the people. And so your business becomes an area of developing a character that treats other people or runs things a certain way. So the way that you run yourself, your value, your morals, and your belief are ultimately going to be running your business. So that's why knowing who you are is very crucial, and it's one of the things I really recommend that you really correct if you are right now, that maybe you do, kind of things that are on the shaded side, and you want to push away from there so that later on in the future it won't come back at you. So those are some of the things that I would have loved to know growing up in my career, that now I'm following, something that I realized that I always wanted to do, become a filmmaker, tell my story, tell what I want to tell in my story, and build something that people would just love and appreciate. And so that is something that I wanted to do, and it's been something always on my heart. And those are things that I want you to take to your heart and to take to your career so that you can develop your career. Alright guys, so we have come to the end of this podcast, but I don't want to leave you just yet, because I want to give you 3 things that are really kind of like quotes that I live by every single day that have helped me on my journey, and I'm hoping that it helps you on your journey as you're developing your career. And so this is number 1: life is a gift, so enjoy it by going after your dream and passion. This is something that I learned through the process, and when I figured this out, it was like an epiphany. It was like a new way of looking at things, a new perspective, and it was something that I realized that life itself is a gift. And why would you put yourself in a position of stress? Why would you put yourself in a position of hating your career and go through that? Because your life is a gift. So enjoy it in what you want to do. Enjoy it in what your passion, your dreams are. Because ultimately, you go through this life, and then once you're done, you're done. And this is a gift that we're given in this lifetime that we have. So enjoy this life by doing what you want in your dreams and your passion and going after it 100%. Secondly, is what you believe is more important than what others say about you. And this is something that every single day I deal with, because it's something of a reminder to really keep on focusing. And the reason why I say that is because so much when you go out there in this world. So many people believe that you're a certain way. The media tells you you're a certain way. You hear people telling you to be a certain way, but ultimately what you believe about yourself is what's really going to come out. And so if you wake up and you believe that you're nothing, that you're meaningless, you're worthless, then that's exactly what you're going to be pouring out into people when you go and you talk to them. So what you believe is more important than what others say about you. So believe in yourself. Believe that you are great at what you do. Believe that you do have a passion in what you're doing, and it's a great passion. Believe that you are meant for something, that you have a purpose in this world, and that purpose is the dream that you're given to develop so that we can have a piece of it. And that goes into my last encouragement for you, and that is, we are all meant to help one another in this world. So choose how you will help others. This is something that I really want to encourage you, because in the world that we live in at this moment, everything in itself helps one another. The plants help us breathe. The trees help us have homes. I mean, everything, the plants, the trees help us live, developing our, giving us fruit. But not only that, animals and birds and insects and everything is helping each other to live in this earth. So how are we going to help with our dreams and passions, help other people? Because I believe if we don't have that in our dreams, it's not a dream. I think it's just something that we're just self-gain and not really helping anyone. And when that happens, well, that's when, bad things go into a chaos. So what I want to really encourage you is find out how your dream is helping others. How do you want to help others with your dream and your passion? We are all meant to help one another in this world. So choose how you will help others. And that is it for today, guys. And I'm so glad that you were here with me today. And I hope that you have a great day. I hope that you're encouraged. I hope that you're motivated to go out there and chase your dreams. We talk to you later. Peace.